I know I've been putting this off, the W140 front redesign. I know a lot of you wanted me to do it earlier, but hey, we're doing it today. We're not gonna put it off anymore. So here it is, the S600 W140. I would say the most presidential S-Class ever made, at least in my opinion. You can see that it has the V12, which is obviously shown right here at the back of the C-pillar. It's there, it's an emblem, just to show it in your face that, hey, we're sitting in a V12 back here, so back off. Now, before I go into the redesign, I just quickly want to go over the changes that I want to make here. I'm going to take the graphic features from the previous generation S-Class, not the 2021. There's a good reason for that, because if Rosie just moves away here, she wants to say hi, of course. Hi, Rosie. Say hi to YouTube. Hello. You like the S-Class? You like the W140? So the reason why I want to use the previous generation S-Class is very simple. It's because I love the treatment of the headlights that Mercedes used in the previous generation C-Class, E-Class, and S-Class. And that means that the S-Class, if you look at the S-Class, the previous generation, it has 3 LEDs that goes like this. 1, 2, 3. And 3 means that it's the S-Class. If we remove 1, then it becomes the E-Class. The E-Class only has 2 of these. And the C-Class only, of course, has 1, which is this one right here. So this is how the C-Class looks. And I always loved this design treatment of the graphics in the front headlights. Even if it's at night and you see something in the rear mirror, or you see some headlights coming towards you, you can tell if it's a C-Class, E-Class, or an S-Class based on how many LEDs it is in the headlights. It's just a beautiful LED assembly or headlight assembly that I want to modify and make fit this design here that we have from the 90s on the W140. So that's going to be super interesting. Another thing that I mentioned on the rear view as well is the proportions of this car. It's a little bit interesting. So I always thought that the as I said before as well in the other video, is that the roofline here sits too high. So what I want to do is just drop it down just a couple of inches like this. That's all that's needed, just a little bit lower, so that we don't have the 50% ratio here of the shoulder, the bodywork, and then we have the glass. You can see that this is almost meeting in the middle here. I want to have more body mass and less glass. That's going to give it a more dynamic proportions. It's going to just basically look better. It's not going to look so top heavy. So on top of that, I want to increase or not have this concave line here that we have here in the shoulder line. You can see that this trim piece here, it's almost concave. It almost dips down like that. So what I want to do is just create some sort of stronger shoulder line, just like we did on the rear view as well, and have that continuous design that we have in the rear view. I, of course, want this to be the same design in the front, so it's going to look like it's the same design if you look at it in the rear view redesign or the front view redesign, if that makes sense. They need to be similar at least. I'm not going to talk a lot more about that. Let's jump into the redesign. Let's see how this is going to turn out. Before we continue with the W140 Mercedes redesign, I want to take 1 minute to thank today's sponsor, which is Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community for creatives where millions come together to take the next step in their creative journey. Now, if you watched the channel before, you know that I'm a huge fan of Skillshare, not only as a student, but also as a teacher. I've been on the platform teaching for over 5 years now in topics such as design sketching, entrepreneurship, and lifestyle. Explore new skills, deepen existing passions, and get lost in creativity. I'm currently interested in subjects such as photography, graphic design, and storytelling, and all of those topics are available in thousands of classes that you can find on Skillshare. I just finished a class by Maddie Brown called Low Budget Filmmaking Tips and Tricks for an Indie Look. Now, there are several things that I like about this class. First of all, it's a low budget. I don't like to spend money on things if not 100% necessary, and I also like storytelling, and I can use only my phone for the tips and tricks that Maddie mentions here in the class. Another thing I like about the class is that it's short and straight to the point. There's not a lot of fluff in Skillshare classes. I don't have time to walk through an hour of fluff before I get to the actual content. Skillshare is also extremely affordable. It's less than $10 a month with an annual subscription. And to help you with that, the first 1,000 people to use the link in my description will get a free trial of a Skillshare premium membership so you can explore your creativity. I really recommend you check it out if you want to learn anything new, or specifically if you're like me, you're creating videos online on YouTube, for example, and learning these cool tricks and tips about storytelling and also editing. So click the link in my description. The first 1,000 people get a free trial to the premium membership. Don't miss out. So I don't know, I just love the W140. It's one of my favorite Mercedes S-classes, or Mercedes in general, as I said before. And I think this redesign it's just a fun, exciting redesign to do. Not just the rear view, but the front view. It was super fun to do as well. And I think the graphic design from the previous generation S-Class actually suits this car. And this is one of these redesigns that I said also is going to change to the end, to the last image of the video. I did some tiny changes in the middle, in the last second, to the front bumper to make it go in a little bit more than having it be stick out. So I don't want to have a lip sticking out, because that's too. It suits a C-Class, but it doesn't suit an S-Class, if that makes sense. It's too sporty. The S-Class is not sporty, specifically not the W140. It's a presidential car. You gotta separate the luxurious features of the S-Class and the sporty versions, because nowadays all cars want to be sporty cars, and I just think that's wrong. I don't think that's right. I want to have different separation between the categories of cars. So if I want a stately, presidential, beefy, monument of a car, I want the S-Class to be like that. And that's what I think that 2021, for example, I think that's lacking that feeling in the S-Class itself. It doesn't separate itself enough from the C-Class and the E-Class in the current generation. In my opinion, of course, I think it looks too elegant, too sporty, and if I was a president myself and I get to choose one car to ride in during my presidency, it would be the W140 over the current generation S-Class, and that's 100% for sure. But as we go along here in the redesign, I actually didn't have a lot of problems with this design. It was super fun to do. I just had a relaxing time creating this redesign. I knew what I wanted to do. I had a vision in my head, used the graphic design from the previous generation S-Class and just apply it, mold it so that it fits into this body shape. I actually really like the point of this redesign where I had the wheels and the front bumper on, but still had the W140 graphics of the old design, of the original design. That was a sick design. I kind of wanted to stop right there and just have it be like that, but then it wouldn't be a complete redesign like we did on the rear view, so it wouldn't match totally. But yeah, if there's one thing that kind of didn't make sense to me along the way here, it is the front bumper. But that's also the last thing that I came back and changed last minute, which you're going to see at the very end of this video. I want to say thank you to you for watching this video. It really means a lot to me, and thanks to Skillshare for sponsoring this video today. I'm TheSketchMonkey. Make sure you hit the like button if you enjoy these type of weird, cool videos, I don't know, whatever you want to call them, and subscribe to the channel if you are new. And by the way, if you want to go and check out my second channel I just started, you can go and check that out below. That's more on the business side of YouTube and other things that I like to talk about. So if you want to go and check that out, you can go and subscribe to that channel as well. Thanks again, and we'll see you in the next video.